Well, everybody, 2015 was a great year for this channel. It grew some. Hopefully in 2016 it'll grow some more, because I'm going to keep on trucking. I'd like to start this year off with a Fallout 4 review. That was probably my favorite game of last year, so I'd like to review it in preparation for this year. Fallout 4, was, like I said a moment ago, was probably my favorite movie of last year. And that motherfucking game is so addicting. Now, a little bit of background here. I remember back in 2011, I believe it was 2011, Skyrim came out. And that was the first Bethesda game I've played. That was the first Elder Scrolls game I played. And I absolutely fell in love with Skyrim. It was addicting. It was engrossing. Everything about it just drew you into the world. And just the way the game was made, you had no choice but to be invested. There was always so much to do and so much to see. And then here comes Fallout 4. And again, oh, speaking of Skyrim, just a second. Skyrim's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm just saying. Fallout 4 was the first Fallout game I've ever played. So that would make it the second Bethesda game I've ever played. And just like Skyrim, it pretty much had all the elements Skyrim had, only a different backdrop and different, different just setting, different, slightly different mechanics. It had a different theme. And again, I became, and still am, very much addicted to Fallout 4. Much like Skyrim, at first I didn't know what to think. At first, I picked the game up, I'm like, I just can't get into it. Then I set it down for a moment, then picked it back up, and then it hit. The addiction hit, everything about it just drew me in, and I've had so much fun with Fallout. Is it perfect? Obviously not. There's not even really a need to question whether or not it's perfect. It has some bugs here and there. There are some things that draw back a little bit, but not nearly. For every wrong thing, there's like 10 good things. One of the negatives I'd have to say is it looks aged. It definitely is not in par with a lot of other games that are coming out that were built for this. My understanding is they got to work on it 5 years ago. They started work on it 5 years ago, so it kind of shows that a little bit. But that does not take away from the gameplay whatsoever. The gameplay is wonderful. It handles really well. It still looks very pretty, regardless. Skyrim, that was last generation, and it still looks very pretty. It was really neat. And I will say Fallout 4 is definitely more engaging than Skyrim in that there are more dialogue options and there's more character there. It does suffer from the same fate of there only being a select few voice actors, so you hear the same voice a lot. I swear to fuck, there's some voices from Skyrim in there. I'm just saying. I swear tomorrow that there's some. I'm just saying that's not a bad thing though. To me, the main campaign is more compelling. It's more personal than Skyrim. Not that Skyrim wasn't badass. Everything about that game was badass, and I'm very excited for the next Elder Scrolls. I like the weaponry in Fallout 4. It could be a little more diverse. I mostly stick to rifles and Kellogg's pistol. For the time being, I'm really pacing myself on this. I love the customization that you get with the characters to begin with. Only they don't tell you, unless you really look beforehand, you get to create 2 characters to begin with. I hear that comes back into play later, that I spent so much time customizing my characters, but I stuck with a female character. That's what I go with. I thought that was pretty neat to go about that. Designing a female character is way different than designing a male character. When a male character, you kind of reflect yourself. If you're a male, for me, you kind of reflect yourself through it. Designing a female character is like you have to do like makeup and hairstyles. I just tried to make her hot. I'm sorry, I did. I just tried to make her hot. Everything about the game, just like the Skyrim, is very much engrossing. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. It's very challenging. And for me, it's on par with Skyrim, one of my favorite games of all time. Are you guys playing it? If you haven't, I guess you have your reasons. But if you have, what do you think about it? I would like to know. Leave them in your questions, not your questions, but your opinions in the comment section below. That rhymed, ho. See you guys later. See you guys. Really excited for 2016. Excited for my top 10 movies of last year coming up. See you later.
Atom bomb, baby, little atom bomb. I want her in my wigwam. She's just the way I want it to be. A million times hotter.